I'm Linnell, and I'm a friend of Carly's, and she asked me to talk to you a little bit about Garden Oaks, Houston, her property, what's going on with the new house, and so that's why I've been asked to do this, and it's my pleasure. I first knew about Carly's lot when I was 12 years old. I used to love to go over to the vacant lot that did not have any houses on it, and I would go through the trees because there were a zillion trees, and I'd go through the trees about to the middle of the lot, and there was a nice big hill made out of dirt that was there, and it was big enough that I could sit on it and have my feet go down to the ground, so it was very comfortable. So I'd go over and sit on the lot and get away from all the troubles that a 12-year-old can have. And I'd look up through the trees from my perch on the dirt, and I would see the beautiful blue sky, and I would see puffy white clouds drifting by, and I just loved it. It was beautiful. So that was my quiet time and my quiet spot. But pretty soon, about 2 years later actually, that I was about to lose that spot because Mr. Clark W. Henry bought the property, and he was going to build a house on it. And sure enough, he built a house that was there when Carly moved in. And so that was really exciting to watch the house go up. I later found out that Mr. Henry owned 1,236 acres of land out where Jersey Village is now. And I thought, well, that's neat. Well, come to find out, he had a public attraction out there. He had a lot of Jersey cattle on the property. He had a ranch, and he had a dairy operation that he ran. And so he would invite people out and say, it's open, come see the cows get milked. And sure enough, a lot of people went. And he had cows that were being milked, and you could look through the glass doors and see all the cows being milked. And of course, some kids had never seen a cow probably, so that was very interesting to them. And so they would look at the cows being milked, and then just a little piece away from that spot was the place where the cow's milk was turned into ice cream. And so they would get to go and have ice cream. And so that was really special. Well, he also had pony rides for the children, and so they rode the ponies, and then the parents or the adults could go over, and they also had live entertainment, country western live entertainment. And so they could also go over and buy ice cream to take home, or just for the kids there or whatever. So it was an exciting place to be, and he enjoyed running it, and the people, it was really an attraction for the Houstonians and the people in the nearby communities to go and have fun. He had such a marvelous herd that at one point in his operation, it was known that he had the largest and best herd of Jersey dairy cattle in the world. So that was really, really something. He was a very, very smart man. Then for years he had run this operation, and finally he got to be in poor health, and he decided it was really too much for him to keep on with that. So he discontinued the dairy operation, but he decided he wanted his land to become part of the neighborhood. In other words, there were people already beginning to settle right there, and so they fixed it so that he had some help eventually doing that. He and Mr. Leroy Kennedy were friends through Garden Oaks Baptist Church, and so they decided that they were going to work together and that they were going to be business partners and do all the groundwork to make this a community. And in 1954, they started doing all that it takes to lay out streets and et cetera, so that people could come in and have a place to start building. Because of Mr. Henry's success with the Jersey dairy cattle, they decided that that would be the name of this community, Jersey Village. So that's what it became. And the people that lived there got together for an election, and they voted to incorporate the area so that it would be, and make it a city so that other cities couldn't encroach on it. Houston was not out that far yet. And so that's what they did, and they made it a city. And then they elected a mayor and council members to do the job that the city requires. When the Henry family finally sold their house in Garden Oaks, they sold it to a couple who I got to know later, and they were also members of Garden Oaks Baptist Church. So I don't know if they pre-planned, if they talked about it beforehand, or if he just put it up for sale and they said, oh, it's for sale, let's buy it, So that may be what happened. But the couple that lived there a long while, and then the husband died, and so the wife didn't want to stay in that big house anymore, so she bought another house in Garden Oaks that was much smaller, that was all she would need. So she was very happy and lived in Garden Oaks for many, many years after that. Then after they lived there, a doctor came and moved in, and he had his practice in the Heights area, so this was very close for him to go to work. Finally, Carly appeared on the scene. And she's the fourth owner of that property, because, it was just sitting there until Mr. Henry decided to come in and purchase the lot and to build a house and to live there. And so anyway, Carly was on the scene, so she lived there 12 years. And all this time, for those four people to live there, spanned 72 years. So they were stayed pretty much a long time, each of them in that house. And Carly had always wanted to have her own dream house that she designed and had everything in it that she wanted. So she started on her plans to build her dream house. And so, of course, that took a lot of work. I remember when they were packing, then they were having a garage sale, and a lot of this is documented on Facebook, so you can see the garage sale and you can see all these things going on. And then the moving to a temporary house while the construction was being done. And it was a smaller house than what she was used to living in, and so it took some adjustment for that period of time that it took to build the house. And so then the house demolition started, and that was exciting, and caterpillars and all kinds of dirt flying and all this kind of thing. It was really, really something. But even more exciting was the removal of a 40-foot pine tree. And she called some of us over to watch the process. And that you can see on Facebook also, because it shows the pine tree coming down. And it was very exciting, and it made a loud bang when it hit the ground. But anyway, they cut and sawed and so on, but they only cut in one area, so the whole thing fell down in one fell swoop. Yikes, it was something else. And we're excited to get to see Carly's house when it's completed. We think you can see pictures on Facebook inside the house, and it's just fantastic. It's very majestic, and so it's going to be really beautiful when she gets it all decorated, and it'll be fantastic. We're also looking forward to having Carly back in the neighborhood of Garden Oaks.